Hi, I'm Danny Kao. I'm from the Washington, D.C. region of SCCA.
And I'm Mike Kline, also from the Washington, D.C. region.
And this is the 1999 Miata that we bought for CSP, that we built for CSP, actually.
Yep, and we bought the car last year. Well, no, I guess it was the year before last, technically. We bought the car with the intention of running it in CSP and having a CSP car with ABS. Was the whole thing.
So what we ended up really did, what we did was just a year before we bought Riley Borean and Velma Borean's CSP car, came out of Indiana. We campaigned it during National. Mike Trophy at it, at the Nationals with it, with a minimum amount of seat time. But then afterwards, when we started driving it, since there's no ABS and both of us are pretty left-footed, and when we hit the brakes and we kept on locking up front wheels, and then we went through 6 Hoosiers, and it cost $1,000, and then we very quickly we realized that we have to have an ABS, otherwise it's just so much money that we're going to end up spending. So what ended up happening was we first went out and bought a 1999 Miata from Philadelphia for $1,700 that has an ABS. The car was completely rusted out. And then we tried to transfer the ABS onto the 1996 Miata that we have. That didn't work out because due to ABS modules, and then we couldn't really mount it with in being legal for SCCA. So we looked around. We found out that the other car was completely rusted out. That there's nothing we can do about it. So Mike, out of the blue, found this person called Middleman out in Atlanta. He was parting out, a bunch of Miatas, and he calls me up. We call him up one day and say, "Hey, do you have a 99 chassis?" He says, "Oh, I do, but I'm not sure what we're going to do with it." 2 days later, he says, "You come and get it this Saturday. Please, come and get it. If you don't come in Saturday, I'm junking it." So when we asked him how much his car was, and he told me $120 for the car. So that Saturday was my 30th anniversary. Somehow my wife agreed to go down with me to Atlanta, so we went down there, found this car, drag it all the way home, and then took it to Mike's house, and then 70 days later, we have a CSP Miata. Yeah, that was quite a bit of work.
Yeah, we did tons of work on this thing. We have a 1990 dash in it that we swapped out of an earlier car, since that's legal in the class to update, backdate, all kinds of stuff. So we got rid of the soft top per the rules, and it's a 99 chassis. We upgraded to a 2001 motor. It's got a little more torque than the 99 2000 motors. We're running E85 fuel in it, so a little more power there. It's still the stock motor. Inside, we haven't opened it up and done a full street prepared spec build on the motor, but as far as bolt-ons, it's pretty much everything we can get out of it right now.
Yeah, our philosophy, I guess, is a little different. The motor was a junkyard motor that we bought for $750. Transmission was from the same junkyard for $400. A lot of people they would go 40 over or 20 over anyway to build the motors. And our philosophy was to put the lightest bolt-ons that we can put on. If the motor blew up, it blows up. It blows up. So. We went to Peter Forens is a person that helped us tune, and we have Mega Squirt in there. And then basically what we did was we tuned the car to the maximum that right before it blows up, I guess. And then we try not to worry about what happens after, because it's basically a $750 motor that blows up. And then we did a lot of other cool stuff, I thought. We have 2-piece clutch in there. We have a small brake kit from Millwood. We took advantage of all the CSP rules so that we can update, backdate. So we have the lightest brake setup that we can find for the least amount of money, I guess. And those rims are from 949 Hoosiers. We run Hoosier 87s, 275, 35, 15s. And then if we pop the hood a little later, you'll see Mike fabricated the entire air intake. I think we got the cones, and we got the K&N filters and all that stuff from Strano Parts. And then after that, we just went to a local metal shop and bought some 50-52s.
Yeah.
And 60-61 aluminums, and we went to town. We started cutting all the stuff up.
Yeah.
And he fabricated the air box. we made the, or actually Mike, I shouldn't say we, Mike made the rear spoiler using a template that Joe Fist Racing had for the rear. The front was a modifying Joe Fist. That was the design I thought was actually really, really cool. It's 2 bolts and then push into a slot, and there it was. But NAs and MBs, the size is really different. So we modified the NA front spoiler to make it into that. The exhaust, we have Burns stainless exhaust. I think Mike just welded it all together. And then and the car did really very well last year.
Yeah.
we were really surprised, and when we first built it, we didn't know what was going to happen. We had a good time at Cherry Point when we first tested out the car. Then we went out to Dixie, and then Mike won the event. I was second. Then after that, we did well at DC Pro, DC Tour. Didn't do quite so well. I mean, you were second in Wilmington. Right?
Wilmington, yeah.
Yeah, and then we didn't do quite so well in Toledo. We ran into Billy Davis. That name is crazy. Billy's crazy. And then most of the other events, we really did far well than we thought we were going to be.
Yeah.
And then so we ended up at nationals. We end up taking I had a trophy for the first time.
We got the last 2 trophy spots last year.
But then again, it's far beyond our expectation on what this car did. So for this year, we upgraded the spring rate a little bit. We upgraded the front sway bar. And also we did some goofy stuff with the seats. We got some carbon fiber seats from UK, from a place in UK, and then last year's the gag. Tamara Hunt drove our car and won CSP nationals in the ladies class. And for that, and she gave us 2 Oscar the Grouch underwears, and we made it into headrest. And then you have to see the shifter. The shifter is from Eric Hyman. Hyman called me out one day and say, "Hey, I got a gift for you." So he sent me a Amazon toy of Oscar the Grouch, and we made it into a shifter. Yeah, and those are my contribution. Yeah.